Can you explain for the audience the distinction between Afrobeat and Afrobeats?
Okay, yeah. So Afrobeat is created by Fela Kuti, Nigerian musician in the 1970s, 1960s, 80s. Fela sampled all over the place. You don't know it's being sampled, but it's being sampled. You listen to Nas, because I don't talk about Nas, right? You listen to Nas, Nas is sampling Afro beats. Yassine Bey, like Fela's there. Fela's consistently there. Um, Afro beats is the a child of Afrobeat that's much faster, more digitized. And the current version, if you hear Afrobeats, is you're usually hearing the child, so to speak. And it comes out of Nigeria. Um, and I love it. I mean, I love African music in general. Um, I love diasporic music in general. And I've always enjoyed the intersections. I've always enjoyed listening to music where I don't understand the words, but I just can feel kind of the rhythms. And that was how I first encountered Fela. I didn't know I could understand Fela. I just had this assumption, but then I was like, wait a minute. Oh, wow. I understand Fela. That was like transformative. So the context is I love Afrobeats. I just want to make that clear. The broader context of the epilogue,
So do I.
allegedly. No, I know. The broader context was a interview that Buju Benton did with Drink Champs. And I love Buju. Like I feel like I could track some of my political transformation through Buju's musical transformation. Like when Buju openly becomes Rasta in the mid 1990s, that's a big moment for the music. But Buju asserted that Afrobeats hadn't given anything back to dancehall, although dancehall gave Afrobeats so much. He was like, reggae was anti-apartheid. Reggae stood up for countries all across the world. What's Afrobeat saying about not just Africa, but like the world and diaspora? Like we talked about, we've bigged up all these things. And so he kind of cursed out, he literally cursed out Afrobeat, said it's not doing nothing. So that's what sparked journalists asking the Afrobeats musicians, hey, what do you think? So then that's why Tim said it's kind of skate music. But I love Tim's. And so I do appreciate Tim's position. But when I started listening, I went back and started listening to Tim's one. Tim was, wait a minute. I don't feel like Tim's is just. Tim's could be a dancehall artist. Like literally. She sings about being a champion. She's the baddest. It's love, it's heartbreak, it's thoughts of I do want to escape, but escaping in the mind is the first thing you do before the body escapes. So there is some type of, it's not totally night and day. So in the epilogue, I do imagine Thames as a dancehall artist. And when she talks about Mr. Rebel, who's Mr. Rebel? You know, like, are these the guerrillas that fought these liberation struggles but didn't fit in to the post-colonial state who still live in the bush? Are we the rebels? Who is Mr. Rebel? Is it Chronics, reggae artist Chronics, who says, Operation Mama Africa, we're going back to Africa and is looking for rebels to help take over? Who's this Mr. Rebel? And if you think about other musical genres from Africa, one of my artists I love a lot is Lure from Cabo Verde. She has songs where she invokes Cabral, and she evokes memory of artists. So there is a thing. There is a tradition of Africa in doing this. But I would agree to the extent that if Afrobeats was more intentional by taking some of the innovation of naming beats, and I just to clarify that, um, one of the most outstanding dancehall rhythms is called Shenkai Shek, and it's actually a ska rhythm from the 1950s. It's really about Shenkai Shek, but the 90s versions kind of have no idea of this thing. But just in the rhythm, which is beyond the song, there's these old stories of radicalism. So there is a thing of you can create the space by what you name it. like the kind of energy it invokes. I definitely think Afrobeats could do that because the beats are phenomenal. And one of the innovations of dancehall is that because the beats that work well, they get recirculated over time. So I write about like dancehall creating these compressed timelines of black radicalism, where you got songs from the '70s on the same rhythm as songs in the 2000s. There's like an exchange of politics you get within minutes, but they're covering like decades of content. So you might hear Peter Tosh on the same rhythm of a Sizzla Kalonji or a Queen Africa. And I think there is something useful about that. Let me think about it. And Bucci makes the point that yeah, it should still be entertaining, right? If it's not good, if it doesn't slap, it doesn't work. So it's got to still slap. So it's got to still sound good. But you can elevate the sound to have a certain level of consciousness too.